Whilst completing this module, I have had time to question and reflect upon my identity as a classroom leader and the type of teacher I would like to be. I have developed my thinking of the values and attributes that are important to me and which will enable me to be the best teacher and leader I can be. I have been influenced by the different ideological views of education from the viewpoint of politics and policy and the thoughts of experienced educationalists and motivational speakers. Clarifying and becoming aware of my own teacher identity will allow me to ensure that my visions and values are always central to my practice, and this will continue to reinforce my commitment to the pupils I teach. I am aware that I will go into teaching for my own set of principles. However, I am willing for these to be questioned and recognise that I will need to adapt to the demands placed on me by those in authority. I also acknowledge that my principles will change over time as I develop as a teacher. Firstly, I began thinking about what the purpose of education means to me whilst considering the current educational landscape. This has influenced my vision and how I can deliver this through being a classroom leader. Ball 2003, talking about the meaning of pedagogy, says, "Are we doing this because it is important, because we believe in it, because it is worthwhile, or is it being done ultimately because we will be measured and compared?" I can think of times in SE where I have seen teachers completing tasks that they would not have done if it were not for the pressures of accountability and results. For example, forgoing extracurricular activities in the afternoon to spend more time on maths and English as these pupils were due to sit mock SAT tests. With performance-related pay and the pressures of school league tables, do we as teachers have too much pressure on us to ensure children's progress? Yes, I realise the importance of progression, but has this resulted in the magic of teaching being lost? Claxton, 2008, states, "It is the kind of learning you are practicing that is important, not the subject matter you are practicing on." Does this mean the way in which we can rebel against a performative heavy education system is to show and develop our teacher identity through our own individual teaching and leadership styles, as long as we are able to show children's progression and attainment? I do feel that teachers in schools are feeling the strain of performativity, and this can be restricting creativity and excitement in the lessons which teachers are delivering. Ball 2003 also reinforces this idea and highlights the extra pressure put on teachers may be preventing them from creating engaging learning and lessons for their pupils. Yes, this can be a challenge for teachers. However, we live in a democracy where politicians are elected to fulfil the wishes of the electorate. It is down to individuals' differing opinions, but we shouldn't always presume that the government's policies will always conflict with a meaningful education. I believe that we as teachers can develop and design our own pedagogy that fits in with the current pressures of a performative culture. I want to implement a pedagogy which will reflect my values and belief on what a meaningful education should be, whilst conforming to the rules and regulations from politicians. Surely, if this pedagogy can achieve results, then I shall be conforming but also rebelling and positively impacting on the children's future. We must ensure that our passion for teaching and the welfare of the children is not lost with the constraints of government policy. I am aware that being a leader in the classroom comes with responsibilities. As a classroom leader, I want to focus on the possibilities and opportunities in the learning environment. Through my ethos, I have a vision for my future practice, and I am developing the skills and qualities to implement my beliefs and ideas in the classroom. As an effective leader, I will harness commitment from other staff, parents, key professionals, and most importantly, the children. I will make key strategic changes or adaptations in practice if necessary to fit in with my ethos. The role of the leader is to focus on the future, to take a long-term perspective and make improvements to the classroom. Over time, I am gaining the confidence and the experience to be willing to challenge the status quo and conventional wisdom. When I think about the type of ethos I would like to establish in my classroom, I want to inspire and motivate children and give them a passion for learning. I want to encourage children to be proud of what they achieve through their learning and progress. This is because I would ensure that their achievements, both within and outside of school, are recognised, valued and celebrated, resulting in building their confidence and self-esteem. I think it's important to educate and develop the whole child and make for a well-rounded and grounded person. I want to ensure that both I and the staff within the classroom are committed to creating a positive and purposeful climate characterised by mutual respect, trust, confidence and a strong work ethic. I would hope by creating this atmosphere in the classroom that the children would meet their personal targets and find learning an enjoyable and positive experience, and they would develop skills for life. The children should be given frequent opportunities to discuss and reflect on what we have been learning. I see myself as a leader in my classroom by using effective, clear communication skills and taking everyone with me. All individuals must be respected. I will develop the whole child by planning interesting, inspirational, challenging and motivating lessons which will keep the whole class involved. I will deliver interesting lessons in a forthright way which will have clear learning goals. I will foster an atmosphere of discipline and mutual respect. I will have high expectations of all the children and staff in the classroom. I will remain consistent and persistent. Children will be encouraged to participate in their lessons and ask questions. The children will be given frequent opportunities to discuss and reflect on what they have been learning, and at all times I will have an open, positive and optimistic disposition. I believe in helping to develop the whole child by being aware of their weaknesses and strengths, planning appropriate next steps. Helping learners to make sustained progress requires frequent evaluation of their level of skill, knowledge or understanding, so we can subsequently set the right tasks to help them move on and upwards. I will make productive, accurate assessments to ensure pupil progress and achievement. I will encourage groups to work well together. If you show an interest in a child, they are more likely to follow you. I will have clear boundaries and expectations. Effective communication skills are very important in the delivery of pedagogy, class leadership and interaction with pupils, parents and other professionals. Communication is the first step in cooperating with others. From my SE experience, when working within an additional needs classroom, I want to build positive relationships with my colleagues. I will do this by treating them in a professional manner and involving them in lesson plans. From my SE experience, when working within an additional needs classroom, there have been up to 4 classroom assistants. I will make use of their strengths and skills and listen to their ideas. I will make sure they are aware of my expectations that we all work together to reach the same outcomes. Demonstrating good interpersonal communications skills is an important part of being a leader, especially today when the children and their families are arriving at school with many different needs, expectations and interests. Teachers have to perform many different roles. Chiplin and Jones suggest that one of the main challenges within leadership is creating time and space for teachers to reflect upon their practice and share ideas with their colleagues. This led me to think about the importance of allowing time for reflection. Reflections allow us to seek what has gone well and what needs to be improved. It is important that I integrate new ideas into my practice. Just because something has always been done the same doesn't necessarily mean it is the best way, and through reflective practice I can seek alternative ways of thinking and doing things. I believe that I will be much better prepared to be a successful leader of my classroom if I reflect on my practice, and I am ready to question what I do and think. According to Dewey, when teachers self-reflect, they become more consistent of their independence between teacher responses and student responses to teachers. I will be learning new things and developing a clearer picture of how successful I am being. Through reflection, I feel empowered and will feel more confident about my work with students and their families. I will feel more confident about things that are going well and taking on new ways of working and communicating.